and another art video on how I am using different products, and I will show you as I'm drawing them and as I'm colouring them, so you get more of an idea of qualities. So the brand, because I'm more specialising in pencil colours, I'm trying to do oils. I'm going to do some more painting soon. I just need the equipment because my kids have took my paintbrushes, because I obviously encourage my children to do art because I love art. They've kind of ruined my paintbrushes. So, fun of being a mother, a mother artist. So I need to get more paintbrushes so I can start doing oil painting tutorials again. It's been a while since I've done them. I miss it. I miss the oil paint experience. It's really nice. It's really relaxing. I just like the pencil colours because of the convenience of less of a mess, and I get more detail with the pencil colours, and I should get back into the oil painting to see, because I was getting the detail, because this is one of the examples of oils that I did do. It's under my desk because I'm a weirdo. This piece, so this is one of my oil paintings that I've done, and it has been a while since I've done this, so yeah, I'd like to get back into it. So here are the brands that I'm going to use today for my video to draw eyes. This brand is what I'll be using, and not my Prismacolor, because I love Prismacolor. I'm going to again try this brand, Castle something. These, we'll try them back in a jiffy. Right. So I usually start with a circle of an eye. We always do that lemon type thing. So I know people do the circular and then they do that kind of eye. I personally don't like that. I kind of add the ducts there. Again, mine is just different. I make it more like a lemon with my eyes. So like lemony. And then is when I add the iris of the eye. That's how I do the eye. So today we're going to use these first. This paper is very it's like a little mini scrapbook of doing eyes, but it's very, what's it called? How do we call it? It's good for like pencil colours and watercolours and that type of texture. I love the circular motions with the eyes. This is just a doodle. What I like to do is really, rather than adding lines, I try and shade in the colour, shade in the features of the eye to add. And the more, I think it's more here, the older that eye will look. So we can add some circular motions here. Do the iris. So I always start off with a brown. A brown tone is what sets the base of the colour. Particularly with skin. With the eyes, it's different. I think I'm going to do these. I could do a brown-eyed person. Yeah, I'll do brown-eyed. I'll make it golden-ish. Not officially golden, but just golden. So we'll do that. Add in some circular curved. Curved details onto the eye. All circular. There you go. You can skip this video if you want to skip it, but I'm gonna try my best to not. So it's a really short, simple video. The Irish. Should add a bit of yellow in this. This is that colour. We don't want to make it too dark, so we'll add the more yellowy yellows. Let's get this one to get that golden look, and then we go over it again with darker tones. So it's best to go with lighter and then overwork it with darker. I feel like it's a smooth blend. This is what I'm getting. It's not waxy, but again, I'm so used to the Prismacolor smooth blend, which is just, I'm not used to it. I'm trying to get used to it, but I'm not used to it at the same time. It's killing me. I should sharpen this pencil, but I've not done that. I didn't like it anyway. So I'm going to pick this colour, I think, for the eye. A bit more reddish gold rather than just completely not a dark. Because the skin tone of the eye is going to be much different than the actual eye itself. So this is going to be much darker now. So a quick doodle using this brand that I'm not keen on. Okay, so I'm going to start with the pinks with the skin. There's always a little bit of pink pigment in our skin and a bit of purple pigment in the skin. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to recreate this in the next brand of pen to use, pencil colours to use. So hopefully we get that same effect. If you want to copy on the video and just copy me as is with the same brand, or, you know, this is kind of a tutorial on how to colour your with eyes and draw with eyes. But again, every artist is different. We all find our different knack of things, which is fine, which is great, because every artist is awesome in their own epic way. So this is a bit purple, and that's what gives that mixed tones, that realistic tone look now. So we're gonna add a bit more red later, so, and then a bit of grey for the shades, but this is what starts giving that pigmented skin tone. I'll start adding a bit of yellows or like a golden brown, but again, it's all about layering and shading and trying our best, which we still will do. Like right here, I've done a bit too much harsh lines here. The eye may look a bit too harsh right now, but I will, yeah, that's life, it's art. We're not perfect, you know, we're learn by doing mistakes to be good artists. So again, may not be perfect, but hey ho. So we've done a dark brown, we've drawn a purple. We're now going to use a little bit of red next. So a little bit of red just to kind of subtly start getting that in. So there's like pink pigments here in the eye, in the ducts where the eyes would be. Hints of a little bit of subtle red. You don't need to go crazy with it. It's just going back with a little bit of red again. And then the next thing I'm going to use now is we are going to start adding a little bit of
more, again, hint of like a yellowy brown. So like a yellowy brown is the next colour I'm going to pick, which is this one. Hopefully we get that nice little warm colour to the eye and the iris and the eye to make it look a little bit more realistic. We do circular motions as best as we can without getting too carried away. I do see, I'm circulating there. I'm not doing straight. I'm going around curves like the letter C, curly K. Doing curly K to kind of not do it too straight, too extreme, so you don't get that, lose that 3D effect that creates that depth. So this is what we're trying to do. I'm not saying I'm possibly doing this correctly, but hey ho. And then we go back again with a bit of brown just to define a little bit of the details. Because now I'm going to start adding a bit of the hair on the eyes. Start adding the eyelashes. Again, everyone does this differently. I think I've not done as great as I usually would with eyes, but again, it's all a learning curve. And I think with this one, it really works well with not as harsh, and it's like constantly blending. And you know, since this is a short video, I'm not making this a really detailed eye because it's not detailed. It's not as detailed as I'd ever do it, to be honest. But I wouldn't do this level of detail. We also have a hint of blue in our eyes, so we like to add where the colours of the eye would be with a bit of blue. And then we finalise it, whether it works, with white. So let's see how this works with a bit of blending. Oh, it's breaking. I mean, it does. It does sort of work. I would say it sort of works-ish. So add a nice little, oh yeah, some highlights, there you go. Add a little bit of a shine here and a shine there. So that's with that branded eye. Let's do the next eye. So my next eye, circular motion. I'm going to have this eye looking up more so looking up, just to make it look interesting. Okay, so now we're using these. The thing is with this is I have a lot more variety with these, and I've clearly been using them, as you can tell by that white one. Let's get some dark browns. Here we go. Let's do the same type of regime as I do with this eye. So we try and use the same colour palette and method as I've just done with this eye. So it really shows in comparison. Let's get rid of those lines because we don't want to make it too obvious. So we'll see if this turns out well, or it's just a crock of crap with brands. But again, these are two different brands that are pretty much competing against each other, which I think are still good. Just found a bugger. Definitely still good brands, but I would prefer Prismacolor because I'm just a snob. I am a snob. I'm sorry, but I've been so used to the colours art pieces I've done before. Like right now, I'm currently working on another piece, which I do really love very much right now. I hope it's going to turn out well, but I'm going to work on it today as well, just to keep my art flow going. So this is quite detail here. It's all going to be a little bit different because again, how these pencils feel is much different than the ones I've just used just now. So I do apologize. Guys. I really do. That I'm not going to be perfect with this, but it's all about the process. Process, guys, process. So I'm going to keep that pencil out, and then I'm going to try and find... I think we did a mix between a red and a pink, so I'm going to go with pink again because it'll go well with the whole method of the pink that I used. Oh. Typical. Oh. One thing I will say is the lead's not great with this brand. They break really easy. One thing that bugs me with these is the lead. The lead is not great. That's one thing I'm going to say. Sharpening with these leads is ridiculous. It's just not as great. Not as great. Not as strong as the Prismacolor, I would say. It's quite naff. No digger. It is a dig. I'm sorry, it's a review. It's a review on this brand. So I'm going to try my best to make it look really cute and nice. Because he's looking up at that eye like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you looking at, eyeball? I'm looking at you. So, yeah. Hopefully this will get really... come out really cool. Come out really nice. But I've noticed I've got some new subscribers, which I'm so happy about because I need it. Everyone needs it to have some new subscribers, which I'm absolutely over the moon because the more I can do, the more, again, I can actually stay and do the things that I love and continue to do this stuff because I love art. Got a degree in it. Want to be able to still continuously do this, so because art is my life, it is also definitely my mental health. And considering, as again, I've got two YouTube channels. I've got one called The Dobbs Family and one called my shoe art. And yeah, this helps with my sanity because I've got a terminally ill child who's on end of life. So this is my focus. This is my happy place. This is how I can, relieve that stress of this dark situation that we kind of always kind of like in limbo, I would say, with my son. It's like enjoy every day like it's your last. And some days that can be good and some days that can be the most unbearable, difficult thing day by day I can deal with, and my art helps me kind of work through that. And I've had a few people who've been quite offended by my artwork, which I get it. That's each to their own, and that is fine. If they're getting offended by it, they're clearly feeling something, so it's doing something to them, whether it's a negative or a positive emotion. That's great either way. You might call that as like a shock factor, whatever, shock bait, whatever, rage bait. I don't really give a crap, but it's how I feel, and if it makes you feel uncomfortable, that's fair enough, but so does my emotions. They make me feel uncomfortable with what I feel, so I get that out on paper and express it that way, because very it's dark, and I struggle with those type of thoughts, which I don't know whether to, how do you say it on YouTube where you won't get in trouble? So end of life type thoughts, there we go. That's a kind of best way of wording it without getting desensitized. End of life thoughts, like, so rather than me doing something stupid and not good, I do my art. My art is my lifeline, my art is my expression. It will offend people. I do think if you don't like it, that is perfectly fine. Scroll and don't look at it again. That's cool as well. I'm absolutely understanding that people, it's not their cup of tea, and that is absolutely fine. And there's no judgment on there either. What I wouldn't appreciate is like the hate in the comments, because I've had that in the past. If people have just gone, you're just glorifying it, and I've gone, I'm not glorifying it. Unless you understand from my previous posts and what I do, you'd understand why I'm doing this. And a lot of people have like, I'm amazed, my fans have kind of like stood up and gone, no, if you actually look at this person and this artist and know why they do stuff, you'll understand why. It probably is a shock factor when it just looks like it's like rage bait or shock when people first see it and go, oh, that's just doing it for just shock value, which would make sense, to be honest. But when you really get to understand me as an artist and my work, you go, okay, no, it's like, it's a very dark terminal time and turbulent time, because my body's gone through quite a lot. I mean, not only the guilt of having a gene in me that causes me to have the risk with that partner that I was with, the detrimental life-ending condition. I had to go through another procedure. I got pregnant with that person again. So we have to do a CVS, and a CVS is where they put a needle in your tummy. It's not the amniotic fluid to test for autism, because I wouldn't even terminate, even if I had a child that was autistic or Down syndrome, I'd still keep the baby. It's still, I think it doesn't matter. It's a life, it's beautiful, and Downs or autistic or whatever, I'm not smart. The amniotic fluid test, I would still keep the baby, I wouldn't care. But this was a CVS, this was quite horrific, this was quite painful. They, at 10 weeks pregnant, they would take a piece of your placenta out, so they'd put a big needle in your belly, suck up a bit of the flesh from the placenta, so it would be ripped. It'd be sucked out. It was my God, painful. And they take that sample of the placenta and they test it and see if you've got infantile Pompe for my daughter. And obviously it came back awesomely negative, because that is when something I would terminate, whether people have different opinions on that. If I had another child with Pompe, I find it cruel because there's no cure, there's no treatment. It's fatal. There's no cure for the disease. So I wouldn't really want anyone, lost a child, go through what my son is currently going through right now, when I know the disease is very fatal and there's no life expectancy. So yeah, my art talks and raises issues on that matter of what, as a woman, my body has gone through so much to have children, so much to fight for my kids in that sense. So my art is dark in that way because of those experiences. Those experiences are what made me who I am, and what portray in my work as quite as body dysmorphia. I feel like I'm the cause. I'm a broken person. My womb is broken. My body is horrible, and I've just, because of my genetics, I didn't even know I had, was a carrier of Pompe disease, has just put this on my child, and I feel like it's my fault, when obviously I shouldn't be thinking like that. But you do go through this process of it was my fault, or, you know, I'm the one that's given this disease, I am the disease. And my artwork explores that. If you go further into it, to my older works, it was quite dark. I've kind of reeled back on doing the morbid stuff, but I kind of want to go back into doing it because, you know, it's kind of who I am. Oh, it's who I am. I hate these LEDs. It's who I am, and that's my true actual art. And people, I did get told off even from some family members going, why are you doing that disturbed stuff? You should be drawing happy rainbows. And it's like, but I'm not happy. What do you want me to do? I'm quite morbid in my work, and, you know, there's a reason for it, and it's not, you know, a goddamn general reason. You know, there's so many experiences I've had with Leo that's been quite traumatic and near death. It was quite, you know, this pencil's quite good. This brand is actually quite good. Near death. It was quite, yeah. There's things you shouldn't see as a parent, you don't want to see as a parent, no experience as a parent, let alone the child experience as a child. There's stuff I've seen and experienced that it's not pleasant, and it's not going any better anytime soon. So yeah, my artwork is my escape, and whether you like it or not, amazing. Please do a like and a share for this video, because it will just, it keeps me doing this, and I'd love to just keep on doing this, because this is my lifeline mentally, especially with a roller coaster of a situation I'm still going through to this day. My son's luckily in school today, because I try and give that quality of life for him. So yeah, little bit of talking about me as a person, and you get to see two branded pencils. Which one do you actually like? Do you like number 1? Say in the comments on number 2, because you know what, I'm actually liking number 2. Is it the same? Would you say this quality? Would you say the same? Or is it better? Or was it because I did add a little bit of different colours in that one? Did it work well? Or is it the same? Because I used a bit more duller colours on there. I had a little bit more yellows, because some of the yellows that they had on that brand was different from that brand, because that's quite limited. Maybe I would have had it more brighter, but I like this more than that one. Enjoy the video.